Hello everyone. Welcome to the Module 9 of your course, Use of Library Study Skills and ICT. In this module, we are going to look at computer basics and practical applications. In more details, the Module 9 is broken into a set of units. The first unit, which is Unit 1, discuss about the basic concept of computer. In this, we will discuss about computer, information, and data. We will look at the component of computer, which include the input devices, output devices, storage devices, uh, system unit, the CPU, and the memory. A world of technology. In today's world, the digital literacy involves having the current knowledge and understanding of computer, mobile devices, and the internet technology. For you to succeed and perform very well in your studies, you need to use the technology effectively. The use of computer is almost everywhere, at work, at schools, and when we said computer, it could be a mobile devices. In a workplace, employees use computers to send emails, create letters, memos. At schools, teachers use computer to assist with the classroom instruction. And you, as a student, you use computer to complete your assignment, write your report and project, and many more. What is computer? The term computer is an electronic device which is capable of accepting the data, processing it to make it a meaningful data, and then store the data for future use and produce an output. So, what is an input or an output? We said computer takes input data and produce an output, which is an information. So, what is the data? Data is a collection of Data is a collection of unprocessed items. This can include text, numbers, image, videos, all what you can type as an individual or import individually. While the information is a collection of that data or group of that data which provide a main usable meaning. For example, here you can see when we said 2 medium of soda and then 1 bag of chips, all these are individuals data on its own. But when it has been processed into a report or a shopping items, then that is where we have a collective of information. The component of computer. Computer consists of various electronic and mechanical components. These components are called hardware. So hardware is any electronic or mechanical component of computer. These components are grouped into input devices, output devices, storage devices, and communication devices, as we will see in more details in the next slide. This figure shows you a various components of computer. For example, a printer is an output device, while we have a scanner is an input device, and we have the USB flash drive as a storage device. So what do we mean by an input device? When we say input device, it's any hardware component that allow us to enter data and instruction into the computer. So when we say input, it's any data or instruction that we enter into the computer. Such input can be in a form of video or an images. This example of input device include a keyboard, the mouse, the touchscreen, the webcam, and the scanner. So now it's time to ask yourself, what are the example of video devices that we use to import video into the computer and audio? Of course, to take video or images, we use camera, or to say a webcam. But to input a voice, we use microphone. Output device. What is an output? Output is any data or information that we got after a computer has processed the input. We got this input, or to say, we got this output or information using a various output devices. So, what is an output device? Any hardware component that conveys information from a computer or a mobile device to one or more people is known as an output device. This could be display, printer. This could be a display, printer, then speakers and projectors. So a display is an output device that visually convey text, graphics, or video information that could be on a screen of a smartphone or a screen of a computer desktop or a tablet. So speaker is also an output device which allow us to hear audio sound such as music and voice. Output device including also the earbuds and headphones that we use. Still, we call them an output device. Now we have seen a various input and output device. Then the type of the input device or output device that you may need could depend on the environment that you are or where you use. So in this slide, we try to demonstrate some example of an input devices and output devices based on where the user is located. For example, a home user may need a keyboard as an input device and a mouse and also a web camera, headphones, In terms of the output, he may need uh, a screen of size 19-inch or 17-inch, and also a speaker. Here, when we say headset, headphones that include a microphone. Microphone is the input devices, while the headphone is the output device. When we talk about a small office, in that case, the user may require a bit bigger screen, and it could have the same as a home user. But in case of a mobile user, then for mobility, then a user may require a different mouse, let's say a wireless mouse for a notebook computer, and then a headset which include also a microphone. In terms of the screen, then a mobile user will require a more smaller screen, such as 17-inch LCD screen. When we look at the users that are in a power control or a control unit, then they require a more bigger screen in terms of the screen. While an enterprise users, they can also require a keyboard, a mouse, and then a more higher camera. And also in terms of the printers, they may require a high-speed laser printer because they print a lot, and also the speakers as well. And in an enterprise environment, then which includes schools and institutions, then in that case, we will require an interactive whiteboard for a more bigger display. Next is a storage device. A storage device is any hardware that record and retrieve information to and from a storage medium. So a storage medium is any secondary storage of physical material which the computer used to keep the data and information. So a storage media can be a hard disk, a solid state drive, memory card, flash drives, and many more. So these are some examples of storage media. Of course, sometimes the word storage media and storage device are used interchangeably. So this is an hard disk and this is a solid state drive. This is a flash drive. The main difference between the hard disk and a solid state drive is in the way they have been constructed. We will look at this in much more detail in the next slide. Hard disk drive versus a solid state drive. The hard disk drive contains a mechanical component. It's made up of electronic and mechanical component. So while the solid state drive is made up of microchips. That's the difference in terms of their construction. While in terms of the functions, the solid state drive has faster access time and faster transfer time than the hard disk drive. Of course, the solid state drive also consumes less power, but it is expensive than the hard drive. Because, for example, if you want to buy a 150 gig SSD, then you can buy nearly with at the same amount you can have a 1 terabyte of a hard disk. So storage time. You heard about the word 1 gig, 2 gig, 3 gig, etc. This defines the capacity of your storage media. So the capacity of the storage media is the number of bytes, which means the characters that a storage media can hold. This table illustrates what does this term mean. Kilobyte means 1000 byte. Approximately, the exact amount is 2 to the power 10 number of characters, while the megabyte store 1 million characters. The gigabyte store 1 billion. And then we have terabyte, which store 1 trillion. We have more and more representation for a bigger size. One activity that deals with the storage medium is reading and writing. So writing data is the process of transferring the information from memory to the storage medium, while reading is the process of transferring this item from the storage memory to from the medium storage medium to a memory. System unit. You may have the word system unit and central processing unit. It is important to know that these two are different. System unit is a case that contains the electronic component of the computer used to process the data. While when we say the central processing unit is the processor, which interpret and carry out the basic instructions that operate the computer. So processor significantly impacts the overall power of the computer, and it manages most of the operations. This figure shows you a various representation of system unit. A desktop will have a separate system unit which contains the hard disk, the hard drive, and everything, and every other component, processing component of the computer. Some systems like Mac, they have their system unit attached to the display, while the mobile devices have their system unit attached together. In case of the system unit of a computer desktop, you could find that it contains various components, which include the memory that computer used to store the data while processing, and the processor, which is processing the data and the instructions from both input devices, output devices, and the storage devices. So we have seen input device, we have seen output device, and we have seen storage device, and we talk about the processor. So how does the computer work? Computer receive an instructions or information via the input devices. Such data will go into the memory of the computer, and the processor, which has the control unit and the arithmetic and logical unit, does the process of the data. Store the information on a storage media or devices for future use, and also output the information. Hello everyone. This is the second unit of Model 9, Computer Basic and Applications. In the first unit, we discuss about the input devices, the output devices, storage devices, and other physical component of the computer, what we call hardware. In this part, we will discuss about software. We will talk about system software and the application software. Computer software. All the hardwares will not be functioned without a software. So software is a program, or to say a set of instructions which are organized for a common purpose. These instructions tell the computer what tasks to perform and how to perform them. We have two types of computer software: the system software and the application software. When you turn off your computer, then you have the operating system. This is one of the example of system software. And then supposing you want to type a document, when you open a Microsoft Word, that is an application software. System software. System software are a set of programs that control and maintain the operation of the computer and its devices. The system software serve as an interface between the user and the application software and the computer hardware. That is, let's take an example of your mobile phone. Your mobile phone could have an Android. Android is the operating system, but inside your mobile phone, then you have other applications such as Facebook, TikTok, that the same apply with a computer. So we have two types of software, system software: the operating system and the utility programs. The operating system are a set of programs that coordinate all the activities of the computer, all the activities between the computer hardware and software. These are some examples of operating systems: Microsoft Windows, iOS, the Apple iOS, and then the Chrome OS. Other operating systems including the Ubuntu, the Unix, the Mac OS, and the Android OS. You could easily remember that your mobile phone could be an Android or iOS or BlackBerry OS. So what does the utility programs does? So utility programs allow user to perform maintenance type tasks related to managing of your computer. This include antivirus, disk cleanup tool. All these are utility programs. The application software. Application software are a set of programs designed to make the user more productive or to help the user to achieve some specific tasks. Some popular application softwares include the word processing. For the Microsoft Word, we have the Microsoft Word where you type your report, and the spreadsheet software such as the Microsoft Excel where you perform calculations, and the presentation software, for example, the Microsoft PowerPoint where you do presentations. Database software such as Microsoft Access.